Ooh, yeah! Hey guys, what's up? It's Andrew from Macho Movie Madness, and you may agree with me, you may not, but these are my 5 reasons why Terminator 1 is better than Terminator 2. Roll that awesome music. Alright, so we're back, and I'd like to welcome you all to my little music corner of the house. It's pretty awesome, got Arnold watching over me. I've got a controversial opinion amongst the 3 of us, and just depending on the day, Chris might agree with me. I know Brandon doesn't, but we all appreciate T1, we all appreciate T2. Today I'm going to delve into why I feel like Terminator 1 is the far superior film. Just looking on IMDb today, researching, made me kind of mad. Not that IMDb's the be-all, end-all, but on that site, Terminator 2 is ranked at like number 41, greatest movie of all time, and Terminator 1 is ranked at like 225. That is criminal, guys. I don't know if you're on IMDb, but get on there and vote. But anyway, we're going to jump into the first reason why I think T1 is better than T2, and that is pacing. This is a huge problem with Terminator 2. Terminator 2 is a very slow build up until, the robots meet. And that's good. I mean, you're building to something. But once they escape the T2 or the T-1000 at Pescadero and go out into the desert, it is just exposition city. And it stops the movie dead in its tracks until he finds them again at the Dyson house. Where Terminator 1, all the exposition is told while they're running away from Arnold. And it doesn't stop. It is just balls to the wall, all kill or no filler. There is no let up in Terminator 1, and I absolutely love that about it. So yeah, there's part 1. My second reason why is I feel, it's a 2-parter, I feel like Kyle Reese is a far better protagonist than Arnold. You're not really all that scared for Arnold in Terminator 2. He doesn't have all that much emotion. There toward the end, I guess you can say he does. He's a friggin' cyborg, for crying out loud. But Kyle Reese, he is human. He can be hurt. And as you see, before the love scene, he feels hurt and pain. And you need those emotions. You're really living, this movie, you're really living through Kyle Reese's eyes in our world. Well, 1984 anyway. And so I feel Kyle Reese is the far better protagonist than Arnold. On the flip side of that, I feel like the T-800 in Terminator 1 is a far better antagonist than the T-1000 in T2. Don't get me wrong, I do think the T-1000's cool, but that's about where it goes. I guess he's got menacing looks and he's fast and he can be anything he wants, but Arnold is an absolute badass in T1. Unstoppable. You can blow him in half and he still comes after you. Just look at the physique. He is totally head and shoulders above Robert Patrick in T2 for me as antagonist. So that was number 2. Number 3 is the grittiness of this movie. And this is just kind of my opinion on this, because to me, T2 looks like $100 million movie. T1 was made on a budget of $6 million. So it all comes out on the screen, the guerrilla filmmaking and everything. And I think it adds to just the doom and gloom you feel in the movie. And I think a lot of that's missing in T2. And that's, once again, that's just my opinion, but I think the overall grittiness and dark atmosphere of T1 is far superior. 4th reason, the score. Now, I know what you're going to say. Brad Fiedel did both of them, but this is Macho Movie Madness. you son of a gun. And we love synth scores on this channel. T2's good. It's more of the same with a bigger orchestral, accompaniment. But T1 is where it's at. I mean, it's almost Carpenter-esque. Who doesn't hum that theme? And to me, it sounds better in a more minimalist way than with a 90-piece orchestra behind it. And not just that, I think the score, like when they're running away in the police station, is an amazing piece of score. The constant heartbeat of Arnold, accompanied by the way he glares at everything. I love that. And so, for that reason, I think the score, it's not even a contest to me. And the fifth and final reason, Lord help me. This is Jim Cameron's first official film. Yeah, he directed Piranha 2: The Spawning, which we talked about over on Warehouse B. But this is his directorial debut. And this is the only film he did, and it pains me to say it because I love Aliens. I like T2. It's the only film he's done that's not overbloated. Not overbloated? Not bloated? Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. Every one of his films runs a half hour to 45 minutes too long. Except this one. And it really started with Aliens, and as much as I love it, did we really need a 2 hour and 45 minute cut of Aliens? I mean, it's nice, but there is no, as I said earlier, there's no filler in this thing. And you can kind of feel where Jim Cameron was coming from, because when they preempted Arnold to go and do Conan the Destroyer, because he had signed on to do the Terminator, Jim Cameron was starving to death. He had 9 months where he was living on his writer buddy's floor. And it kind of comes across in this film. I mean, you look at it, everything's bleak, everything's shot guerrilla style and on the cheap. And I really feel like he did more with $6 million than he did 7 years later with $100 million. And if you don't believe me, look at the box office. This movie made $36 million. It made 6 times its original budget, where Terminator 2 made $200 million domestically. It made twice its original budget. Where's your argument at? I mean, come on. I understand why people like T2. It's a big movie. It's a big, fun popcorn movie, and I've seen them both in the theater. I saw T1 during its original theatrical run. I was 5. I only remember a couple of scenes from it. And I will admit, T2 was probably the best feeling I ever had leaving a movie theater. I was 12 when it came out. But that said, when you look at them from a film standpoint, yeah, this one has more explosions, more CGI, a bigger budget. It can do more things. This streamlined little son of a gun of a film is just amazing. And I don't care who knows, it is my favorite film of all time. That scene in Tech Noir where time slows down and Arnold's pulling his gun and Kyle Reese is pulling his shotgun, man, I just got goosebumps. Amazing scene, the way everything slows down. You hear that heartbeat. It's my favorite scene in all of cinema. Weird as that may sound. But anyway, those were my 5 reasons why. And maybe this will spark a versus. Let us know in the comments if you would like to see a T1 versus T2. I don't know if me and the rest of the guys could be friends if T2 wins and I'm outnumbered, but I feel like I made a valid point. And hope you enjoyed this. Until next time, see you later.